Good morning, and for those we haven't seen, Happy New Year. A recent editorial made a salient point about Connecticut's environmental policies. It stated that it isn't easy being green, but it is possible to slowly change our state's hues. We can all agree on that. It is possible to make Connecticut both cleaner and greener. And it is possible to do that without onerous government mandates which hurt our most vulnerable residents. Mandates like the one which made headlines across Connecticut all last week. So we are here today to look forward. And we're here today to make it clear that our Senate Republican caucus supports efforts to make Connecticut cleaner and greener. We support electric vehicles, and we have solutions to make our air cleaner and our state greener. Our Better Way solutions are realistic, reasonable, and most importantly, achievable. That's important, achievable. They are also comprehensive and thoughtful. We are unveiling them today to start this discussion. And we always believe that good ideas find friends, and we hope that ours will find the support and friends among the majority. To provide a quick rundown of our plan's environmental aspects is our ranking senator on the Environment Committee, Stephen Harding. Steve?
So thank you, Senator Kelly. I appreciate your remarks. I think Senator Kelly did a nice job of summarizing why we're here today and why we think this is a better plan and a better path forward for the state of Connecticut, for our constituents throughout Connecticut. What it comes down to here is that the policy that has been brought to us by California to ban the sale of electric vehicles in the state in a span of essentially a decade is impractical, it's impossible policy. Even more so than that, it's completely unaffordable when you look at the aspects of that policy, what it would do to the consumers of this state, what it would do to the electric rates, the infrastructure. We don't even have to be able to take on that type of mandate. And essentially, it's telling the voters, it's telling the residents of this state that we in government know better than them. And what this policy here is, and what this plan is here, is something to work collaboratively in conjunction with the consumers, in conjunction with the residents, in conjunction with our constituents, as opposed to telling them what they need to do. It's an incentive-based program. And that's the key aspect of this. This is incentive-based. This is very different than a mandate of telling our constituents what they should be doing. We believe in working with our constituents, working with residents of the state who want a better environment, who want better air quality for the state of Connecticut. We're working with them collaboratively with our plan, incentivizing choices that they can make as opposed to mandating choices they can make. It's a real divide in between what the majority, or many in the majority, have been promoting and what ultimately we're promoting here. This involves tax incentives for individuals to purchase electric vehicles if they so wish, not mandates, but tax incentives. This provides in critical investments to energy efficiencies throughout the state. It provides critical investments to looking at the infrastructure, ultimately to take on some more electric vehicles. So these are all things that, again, are working towards practical policy. And we heard in the last press conference, and Senator Kelly had mentioned this previously in the last press conference we had on these mandates, that arguing whether or not the policy that was the mandate was better for the environment than not doing something else. But in this particular case, I would argue this policy is far better for the environment than the mandate that's trying to be passed down. The reason being is this is actual practical policy. What is trying to be done in a ban is impractical at the moment. As we sit here today, the plan cannot be rolled out and there's no answers to this plan. At least when we sit here today with our plan, there's questions that can be answered and it's practical policy, and ultimately it's going to lead to better results in the environment, better results in affordability for the people of the state of Connecticut. That's what this caucus believes in, and I think if you speak with most people in the state of Connecticut, if not everyone, that's what we all believe in. So I thank the Senate Republicans, I thank Kevin, I thank all of my colleagues for putting forth a plan to work towards a goal that's both environmentally efficient and affordable for our state. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Harding. I'd also just like to state that we have with us other senators from our caucus. We have Senator Lisa Seminara, Senator John Kissel, Senator Eric Berthel, and Senator Henry Martin. We also want to thank the advocates from industries who have expressed support for our initiatives. They include the Motor Transport Association of Connecticut, Connecticut Energy Marketers Association, the Gasoline and Automotive Dealers Association, the Connecticut Food Association, DATCO and the bus industry, Connecticut Beer Wholesalers, the Connecticut Building Trades, the National Federation of Independent Businesses, and they're here and with us because there is a better way, as we've stated, to a cleaner and greener Connecticut. And like that editorial stated, there is a better way to slowly and steadily change our state's hues. And we can do it in a way that doesn't leave people behind. And that's most important here, is that the policy proposed by the majority is designed to separate our communities between those who can afford and have the luxury of electric vehicles and those, quite frankly, who can't. So just let me conclude by adding that we will continue our grassroots efforts to take this issue outside from under this Capitol dome, out to the streets and communities across our state of Connecticut, because this issue is that important. There is an important aspect to a cleaner and greener environment, and everyone needs to not only participate, but to know what their government is doing here in Hartford about it. So with that, we'll open it up for questions.